Today we're going to build a smart speaker, and not just any smart speaker, a relatively nice looking smart speaker. You remember that little wooden box with that minimus 0.05 speaker that was blown? Well, we're going to do something with it in this video coming right up.
So the last time we saw this little speaker cabinet, it had a blown driver, and I've just been looking through my junk drawer looking for a driver that might fit, and I have come up with a small one, a 4-inch driver here that may do the job if it will fit, which it may not. It may be a little too big. Let's just see whether this driver will fit. It's the same size pretty much as the other one. Still got the old one here. It's a little larger, so we may have a bit of a problem here fitting this one in. It may do the job. It's just around the edge of the surround there, so if I can attach this speaker into this cabinet, it may very well do the job. First things first, I'd like to see how this speaker sounds before going to the trouble of actually mounting it into the box, because it'll fit into the front like this, no problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the speaker into the box. We'll connect it up to an amplifier source temporarily and just see how it sounds. And if the sound is acceptable, then I'll go to the trouble of actually drilling and screwing it down. I think it'll mount to the front here quite nicely, and should work relatively well, I hope. Let's just see how it sounds. Okay, let's just take a listen how it sounds. Obviously I don't have a good steel on here because it's not in there very tight. Pioneer speaker. So this speaker is Pioneer. Came out of a small set of Pioneer speakers that the tweeter was actually blown on. Well, it turns out the tweeter probably wasn't blown because the capacitor on this one was blown to smithereens. Somebody cranked the crap out of it and blew the tweeter itself might be blown too, but the cap literally exploded inside the box. So that's what this was salvaged out of. It's not sounding too bad. It might do the job to bring this speaker back to life again. I was thinking of putting one of those Bluetooth, it's got Bluetooth, but it's also a Wi-Fi internet radio receiver right inside the box, and then just plug power into it, and it can be used as a portable speaker. That's what the project was anyway. It might be just acceptable for that. I think that might work, so maybe we'll proceed with that. Put a bead of silicone around here, right, to seal it. And that actually might work out quite well. Let's proceed. I do have another small speaker here. This one is a Kenwood, And we can try this one. This is also a full range speaker. So we can certainly try this one and see if it has any different sound, and go with whichever one's going to provide the best sound for this little box. We'll see how this one fits and how it sounds. This one will fit in this box. Yeah, it'll fit. Oh, actually, it probably fits a little nicer than the other one. It might even fit in from the back, but we'll just kind of set it here for now and see how it sounds. Put some different music on. The other one back again. Hard to tell. They both sound equally bad, as would be expected from small little speakers like that. But I guess what it boils down to is which one of these is going to fit into the enclosure. And this one here, the fact that this one will actually fit into the enclosure itself and should drop into here without hitting anything, might make this one the candidate, just because I'll be able to put a cloth grill over the front and make this kind of look kind of stockish. So maybe we'll go with this slightly smaller speaker, and we'll attach this one right in place of the original, and we'll go with that. And I'll just put this one back away as a spare. Oops, don't want to put it there. I'm just about to put it on top of a tape. That probably wouldn't be a good place to put it on top of videotape. With the size of the magnet on this thing, it would certainly cause some form of erasure. But let's just see if I can center the speaker. It'll center it quite nicely, just like that. And we can attach it. I won't be able to attach it using the original screws, but I'm sure I can put some additional self-tapping screws down into here and get this to attach to this metal grill, this metal faceplate. So let's do that. Obviously, when looking through the junk drawer of screws and nuts and bolts, keep the speakers away, or you could have a problem with metal pieces sticking to the magnet. So I'm thinking, if I put a couple screws like this through, if I drill a hole through, if I can find 4 nuts, then I can bolt these through from the front and attach nuts on the back, and then I can tighten it down that way. Or I could of course just find some self-tapping screws that would go through, but I think it would be a cleaner appearance if I were to just use screws like this, which have washers. I can drill a small hole in the cabinet, bring these onto the front, and then once the speaker grill is put on in front of them, you shouldn't see them. So I'm just looking for 4 small nuts that will fit on those existing screws. I may have to go through a couple boxes of accessories, screws, and so forth to find 4 that will fit, but I'm sure that we'll come up with it. There's a problem when you're dealing with old Milwaukee tools. This was given to me because, well, the guy that owns it got a new one, and he gave me his old one, but the problem is the batteries are pretty much toast, but I have 2 batteries with it, so I can charge one up while I'm using the other one. We'll see whether I can drill with this drill. I got a broken drill bit here, but there may be enough meat left on this drill bit that I can actually drill a hole through the chassis. I'm going to mark where I want to drill so I don't have to worry about damaging the speaker. We'll drill 4 holes and get the speaker mounted. So I've got the 4 places on this chassis marked where I'm going to drill the hole. That worked okay. That worked out actually quite well, considering this drill is, I'm going to say, probably 16 or 17 years old. I've had it for a number of years, and it still gets the job done whenever I need it. So we'll put the screws through the chassis that I just drilled. Just so happens that my hole size is exactly the same size as the screws. And let them round out on the other side. So we'll put the 4 screws in and then mount the speaker. Okay, got the mount ready. Speaker will fit over the screws just like that. We'll put the nuts on behind, tighten them down. And this will provide a good airtight seal. As you notice, I haven't bothered to put a gasket on there. I don't think it's going to be necessary because I'm going to be able to get enough torque on the actual bolts themselves and the nuts to make a good solid airtight seal between the actual speaker and the cabinet. It's nicely centered, as you can see. So we'll just tighten down the screws. Okay, the speaker is nicely mounted. I can now, for that matter, if we just want to listen to it as it sits, I can attach it in the box now that it's mounted. It's going to be a tight fit, but it will fit. Actually, it sounds very nice. Okay, now to go and get the amplifier board that I'm going to install inside as a permanent wireless speaker. So this is the board I've decided is going to go into this small speaker. And the reason I've gone with this board is this is one of the few that you can operate as mono. There's a set of jumpers on this unit here that you can jumper it as a stereo board, which gives you, I think it's 50 watts per channel. And you can also jumper it as mono, and it'll give you 100 watts. That's into a 4 ohm load. Into a 6 ohm load, it'll be obviously less power than that. And this speaker here itself probably only can handle about 30 watts anyway, so it's going to go bloody loud. But that's just one of the benefits of this particular board, is it has the mono option. So it's great to use it if you just want to build a smart speaker that for a single speaker setup. And the idea behind this is going to be my new little patio speaker. When I want to listen to the radio outside, I'll just take this outside and plug it in. Now we have a jack on the back here with obviously screw terminals, which we won't be needing. What I would like to do is if I could, put a barrel connector for power, although I could use this as a power connector and just wire up an RCA plug onto the end of a power adapter and plug it in. And that, I think, is probably what I will do. I'll just take an RCA, or I should say I'll just take a standard power adapter and put an RCA type plug on the back, and then that can plug into here to provide power to the speaker. As I say, it's a nice looking little speaker. It's vintage, from about 1977, but it is nice. It's an actual wood box, and they don't sound that bad. So let's hook this up for power. There should be inputs on here for power. If you look down here, there's a positive and negative input. The V plus right there, and that one is ground. If you look on the other side, ground and positive. So we can connect it to the existing wires on the board here and feed it directly with power from the jack on the back. And for that matter, these two screws could also be used to provide power. I can leave them live. So let's connect power up first. I'll just clip off these useless connectors, and we'll connect it directly to the power on the board. Okay, that will apply power for the power supply. We're going to again put something to insulate on the back here. I could just run strips of tape, for that matter, over the back to cover this up. That would probably provide more than enough insulation. Some black tape over the back. And of course there's going to be insulation wrapping around here as well. It'll wrap behind and on over top of the front of the amplifier. So I'll have it insulated with fiberglass insulation as well. Now to connect the speaker wires, I have to put a jumper wire in to connect both channels, which are driven in parallel. So there'll be a positive wire going between these two and then going to the speaker, and a negative wire going between those two and going to the speaker. I don't need to use anything fancy for speaker wire for this. Oops. And then loop this back into the other side. That's my parallel negative. We'll do the same thing for the positive lead. So what we've done is we've just looped, as you can see, we've looped the negative two terminals together, and we've looped the two positive terminals together. The other end of this wire will be attached to the actual speaker. we'll solder that on with the speaker terminals. Next, I'll install the fiberglass insulation. We'll put it in the back, set the amplifier board into it like this, and then bring the rest of it up the front. This is the antennas for the Bluetooth and for the Wi-Fi. And now all I need to do is just plug the speaker plug into the speaker terminal on the back here. Plug that in and place the rest of the speaker in. Pull the insulation up over the front so that it covers up the board so nothing can touch, and we'll put the speaker back into the box, and hopefully everything is going to fit. To say that this is a tight fit is an understatement. Like, it just barely, and I mean barely fits, but it's there. It's in the box. Let's put the little screws in to hold the cabinet together, and then we'll power this unit up and see what type of sound we get out of this built-in radio board, if it in fact works. It'll work, right? A little blue screwdriver here. We'll put these wood screws back in, and then once we've confirmed it's working, I will get some cloth material and we'll put it over top of the speaker grill here and hide all this. Got an old AC adapter here and an RCA type plug, which I can plug into the back here for power. That will work. So first things first, we know that the positive terminal, this has also got a little choke on the end here, which can't hurt, but first things first, let's connect the positive wire. We'll put it through here and through to the front and solder it down, and that way we can power the speaker up. This is only a little 2 amp power supply, so it's not going to develop full power, but that's more than enough, I think, for what this thing's going to get used for. My soldering iron decided it is broken again. It looks like I'm getting error codes, and this thing's at like 900 degrees because the thermocouple has stopped responding. And we'll just cut the other wire back a bit. For our negative terminal, and just solder that onto this base. I'll turn that off before it overheats again. Okay, that should do the job. Let's test this out and see whether it works as I expect that it will. I should get a message momentarily telling me that I'm connected to my Wi-Fi network, because that's how this works. It works off Wi-Fi. The nice thing about this box is that there are a couple chips on here, but I can turn over the other way and you'll never see them, you see. There we go. Should say connected to my Wi-Fi network momentarily. Should be connected. Let's see if I can see it here. The 4Stream app. Patio speakers, there they are.
Connected to your Wi-Fi network.
Let's play some music off of, let's just play this one from relaxingjazz.com, as it's one of the stations that I've got set up. Look at that. It works, and I can control the volume. I can't play that, but as you can hear, it actually works. It actually doesn't sound bad at all. Let's find something I can play. Let me just go to get out of this. Don't have to play it that loud, but it does go pretty loud. Let's get back out of this. I'm just going to kind of talk over this so I can get commercial radio on here. Try that one. News station.
Answers from the Liberal government.
There we go.
That their commitment to reconciliation is superficial and grounded in convenience for the federal government. And to me and to many Indigenous people, that's not real reconciliation.
Shachi, look, political leaders have very tough
sounds
jobs.
actually pretty
I've been
good.
there. This is the Prime Minister of Canada, however, and he's got a lot on his plate every day. Surely he is entitled to some time off, but
We're going to pause that for the moment. I'm going to find some speaker material. We'll put some cloth on here. I've got a piece of speaker cloth that I can cut, and we're going to put this on here. So I'm just going to unplug the power. Start. So this cloth will fit over here, and as you can see, once it's glued down, it's going to actually look pretty darn good, I think. So first things first, I'm going to measure and cut, and we'll glue this down. Okay, I've got my speaker cloth cut fairly close to what it needs to be here. It should be able to stretch out to the edges here once I get it glued down and cover this up quite nicely. I'm just going to put some glue on, and I might use this stuff, the speaker cement, because it's black, and it should be able to tack this stuff down, and it should be able to stretch it out. Let's just see how it turns out. Gonna push this over into the corners here and see if we can get it all completely fill up the silver metal area. We'll try and get this edge to edge here. I'm gonna work with the glue a bit here before it sets up. So there I have it. It's complete. Got the grill on. The cement is drying up. I'll trim this down. I got a little bit of excess of the fabric along the edge here, but once the glue is dried, I'll be able to trim that back a bit with my scalpel or an X-Acto knife and trim off the excess. But right now it's looking pretty good. It's sounding great. As I say, I can control it with I'm using the 4-stream app because it's a 4-stream board that's in there.
resilience and resurgence, and what many Aboriginal
And I can tune in any radio stations or
sometimes not
even
going up in
through
the
the
same
music stations, such as this one here. This is through TuneIn Radio. Right, so we can tune in any of the local stations or internet stations.
If I'm walking down the beach, however, there's some exceptions, and I see a killer whale come out of the water.
Just some of our local stations there. And of course I can also play music over Bluetooth from my phone. So if I switch over to Bluetooth input, I can go to Bluetooth. I put one track on that I can play from this phone. So that's playing from Bluetooth from my phone through this board. I can also stream anything. I can also stream anything from my computer as well over Wi-Fi. But the unit will work on Bluetooth. Right now it's Bluetooth just from my phone to the board on here. I can play anything over Bluetooth to it. I can play anything from the network. What I normally use these little boards for is I listen to internet radio. That's what I use it for, because I'm not one of these people that have a lot of music on my phone. I only have a few tracks on here for a demo. I know some people put everything on their phone, but not me. I'm very limited on my phone. It's not bad sounding. And if I want to switch back, I can just go to, like I can switch, well, line input obviously is not going to do anything because the line input's not available on this, and neither is optical because it's enclosed in the box. But for me, playing from my phone or playing from TuneIn, if I go to TuneIn Radio, for example, I can pick different locations, and that's the beauty of these little boards, is that I can pick anything I want. If I go to local radio, it'll give me all the local radio stations, but I can also, of course, pick my location. So if I want to pick up something out of, well, let's say here. Let's pick a station out of Europe. Let's pick the United Kingdom. We'll just pick on the United Kingdom. And maybe pick something. It might not even work, London. Let's just see whether I can actually do anything, because a lot of these stations now are restricted, believe it or not. It used to be a time when you could pick up anything you wanted, but a lot of these stations now, when you try to tune them in, you will get a recording just telling you that the station you are trying to tune in is not available in your location. But this one actually works. So we'll turn that down. But anyway, there's my smart speaker build. You guys wanted to see what I was going to do with this little cabinet. I found a speaker for it. It fits. It sounds great. I've put my little amplifier board in the back. I've got a power plug on the back to plug it in. So just an adapter, plug this thing in. This is going to become my new outdoor patio speaker to take outside when I'm sitting out on the patio. Because again, I don't need stereo sound. I'm just listening to the radio. There you go. I just had to share this with you. Watch what's coming up here. This light is going to turn red. Here he goes yellow. This has a red light and a speed camera. Here comes Mr. Tesla in full autopilot mode. The car driving at full speed right through the light. As you saw, 7 seconds red. That was in real time. No editing done there. How this guy didn't get in an accident is beyond me. All it would have taken is one of those cars to turn out a little bit quicker and into that outside lane. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.